Hey, I haven't done a vocal toning video for a while, so I wanted to do something this evening for you. I just got done with some vocal coaching with two of my students, and they're making such tremendous progress. They were just in a play this last week, and everybody did a great job. But these two were the killers. They did such a great job in their show. And the reason that they did such a great job is because they didn't back away from their vocals. They went for it. They had confidence, and it showed not only in their vocal ability of singing, but also in their stage presence. And one of the things I wanted to visit about here is the capabilities that good vocals give you. They don't just allow you to sound wonderful, they also provide you with a tremendous amount of confidence in how you carry yourself, in, in how you come across to other people. Many years ago, when I was first getting into vocal coaching, my coach, Deborah Bonner, really emphasized the importance of working early on, understanding and recognizing your true, authentic voice. And many people, as they sing, particularly if they're part of a choir or a group where they're blending, many people have a tendency to change their actual voice. And so if my voice is the voice that you are hearing right now, perhaps if I was singing in a group, instead of sounding like Tim Felicia, perhaps I sound a little bit more like this. And it might be a nice tone, but that's not Tim's voice. Whereas if I were singing with my voice, so here's my voice. I know it's a little bit louder, but this is my voice, because that is my voice. And so sometimes when we sing in a choral setting, it's not that we don't want to use our own voice. It's just that as the director is trying to get a perfect blend, sometimes they back us off or bring us out and stuff. And we interpret that as when he finally or she finally says that's perfect, that's how we're supposed to always sing. Well, in that chorus, yes. But as a vocalist, as a speaker, we have a true voice that is ours. And as we recognize our own voice, we gain confidence. One of the things I do with my students as they first begin is I ask them to sing something for me. And when they sing, they're a little hesitant, maybe a little embarrassed. Every so often I'll find someone who's pretty excited to go right away. But most are a little hesitant. And so they'll sing, and I'll try to bring that out of them a little bit. Well, let's do that again. Let's try it again. And typically, it's not their voice. So they'll be talking to me, and I'm still not getting their real voice. They're still, because they're a little hesitant. And so I'll ask them, I'll say, now what did you say your name was? Can they give their name just like that in their voice? Every time. Every time they tell you their name in their voice. And I just stop and go, whoa, that's the voice right there. Now, I want you to use that voice to sing what you just sang. So I don't want you to try to sing. I just want you to sing. Now, easier said than done. Because sometimes it's difficult for somebody to say something that they've been singing, particularly if the voice is different. But as I work with my students as they first start, I want them to start with their true voice so that we can begin to work through everything, all the different stages, so that it's easy for them. Think about this principle. When you speak, you are always imperfect pitch. Nobody talks out of tune. Nobody talks just like a robot. Now, in one of the famous movies, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, his teacher did, Bueller, Bueller, anyone, anyone. And that's done because it's funny, because nobody talks that way. We all talk in a variety of pitches. Dun, 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 dun. There are all those different pitches. Dun, 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 dun. We do it all the time. Everybody does it. So when people say, I can't hear a pitch, it's like, well, it's not true. Because you speak in a variety of pitches. And we choose the pitch. Those pitches are what we choose to get our point across. So that we either emphasize something or we de-emphasize. And you heard when I de-emphasized, where did my pitch go? It lowered. When I emphasize something, the pitch goes up. We do this all the time as we speak. So as we understand our authentic voice, our true voice, as we understand this better and better, and then we begin to apply this as we begin to work through music. And even though it's spoken, we use the rhythm, we use those notes that are there, and all of a sudden it goes from very spoken till we begin to connect it, it becomes very musical. Not just musical, it becomes a vehicle to express, to message, and to change the way people feel at the time. We can draw emotion from it. But it all comes when we have a very natural sound coming from ourselves. Sometimes when we will talk to somebody, do you all remember the show Gomer Pyle, USMC? And Gomer, he played this role of kind of a goofy guy from, I want to say, from North Carolina. And he goes, golly, yeah, Sergeant. And he was a Marine, but his speaking voice was really high and all. The part that the gentleman who played that role, his name was Jim Neighbors. And Jim Neighbors had this alter ego, this guy that he played that was just a goofball. But Jim Neighbors himself had this beautiful voice, and he was a very accomplished singer. It was this deep, rich voice. And so when he would sing, he was a singer. But we were so used to being a goofball that every time he would go to sing, we were like, who was that? Had we known him as a singer first, we would have had a hard time believing he was this goofball. So when people know us and they know the sound of our voice, if as we're singing, it is too different from our natural voice, it becomes a distraction to them. And they won't be listening to the message. They'll be trying to figure out why. Why do we sound so different? What's he doing different? How come he does that? Why do we sound the way he's talking? They're all questions people ask. They don't say it out loud, but it's going through their head. And if that's going through their head, you know what's not going through their head? The message of the song. The message of the talk. Whatever it is that you're trying to get across, if we're distracting in some way, and it can simply be by the tone of our voice, then you just lost out. Purpose, the responsibility each time we speak, each time we sing, is to carry that message to our audience or to our group that we've been asked to, whether it's to entertain or whether it's to teach. That is the most important thing, is that we convey that message to you. Well, I wanted to leave that with you tonight. I will try to be a little more consistent with putting some things out. I've been very busy with coaching and with a number of other things that I'm involved in. But I would like to know if you would please leave a message below this if you would like once a week for me to do some vocal toning lessons, it would be about 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, um, that we could do some live sessions with as many of you as would like to be on the live session and record them and then post it for anyone who would want to come back and see that later, okay, or be on the YouTube channel as well. So please let me know if that's something you would like to do. Also, let me know if you would like me to bring some of my vocal students in so you can hear some of the amazing things they've done. Or maybe not some students, maybe some past students who are professionals, and you can hear exactly what they're doing and the difference in their sound versus they can demonstrate how they used to sound versus how they sound today. And it's because of going through the process of learning how to utilize your true voice the most effective way possible to get as great a range, as great a richness, and being able to develop a wonderful message, no matter what the genre is, so that the audience can enjoy it. Talk to you soon.